Hello, Libra. Welcome to your monthly reading for October 2025. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Okay, wait, no, we're not. Happy birthday, Libra. Libra Nation, this is going to be, I've told you, I've said it in your other forecasts. A birthday season you will never forget. This is going to be an unforgettable October for you. It's one of the best birthday seasons ever. Okay? Ever. There's so many great things. It's one of the best Octobers. I've looked at the Octobers for the rest of the year too, and I'm just like, okay, this is it. We're here. Now, when I say we're going to jump right into, by the way, we're talking about the deep end, okay? This is definitely going to be an emotional month, and I want you to know that, all right? This is a month of complete transformation. We're talking Phoenix rising from the ashes of eclipse season, where you were working with a lot of health matters. There could have been a lot of just, you were in it, right? Especially that 12th house activity. All right. So there could have been a lot of things that, and when I say health matters, physical health, emotional health, mental health, spiritual health, all of that. Yeah. And so we're now, look at what's happening, okay? If you are new to my channel, by the way, I am going to give you your astrological overview. Then I'm going to do your spread, a full Celtic cross spread. Then I break it down week by week, okay? I pull more cards. There's a lot happening in October. So, as always, not everything is on the whiteboard, and even things on the whiteboard, we're not going to go over. We'll do in your weekly forecast, but we're going to do most of it here, all right? So, and the blue asterisk, always the best aspects of every month. Now, first, Libra Nation, you see how excited I am for you. I want you to congratulate yourself because you did make it through a bonkers summer. You did make it through a bonkers eclipse season. And now we're here in your birthday month, okay? And it's chock full of amazing, golden, rare aspects, okay? Many that we have never experienced in our lifetime. There are so many grand trines overlapping that are, it just never happens. Never happens, okay? And I'll obviously walk you through that. Venus, look at that. Venus is moving into your sign. Venus is your ruler. So Venus is going to be in her domicile, forming one of the grand trines as well. Jupiter, the planet of luck and good fortune and, expansion, wisdom, profit, all of that, finally coming out to play. And he's come out to play hard for you, okay? And when I say come out to play, I've told you, he was quiet last month. He had one aspect. Even in August, one aspect. So now you're going to get all of that goodness from Jupiter. And if you saw your annual forecast, your 2025 forecast that I did for you, which you can still see, it's in the playlist. We have one of the best new moons of 2025. And guess what, Libra? The new moon is in your sign. So you, out of all the signs, I want you to get excited. Go out, buy a blowhorn right now. You probably already got one for your birthday. What are you doing for your birthday? Because October, it's going to be like a present. It's going to be a gift from the universe. It'll be like a gift bag that you get from Home Goods. The event that you went to, the little things that they had in it, whatever. Anyway, this is going to be a month. Now, when I say it's going to be emotional too, it's part of your transformation, is because we do move into Scorpio season, but we have a lot of planets in Scorpio right from the start. Okay. So a lot of water energy, Remember, Jupiter is in Cancer, right? North node's in Pisces, Saturn's in Pisces. So a lot of water energy. What is that? Emotions, intuition, compassion. All right. But when I say water, I'm talking about water with a splash of vodka. Yeah, you're going to feel charged up. You're going to go far. You're going to get a lot of things that you want. If you take that inspired action, you always have to do that, okay? Not only is Mars in Scorpio all month long, Pluto finally goes direct. And remember, Pluto is out of bounds. We'll talk about it. And there's so much cardinal activation. You're going to love that, okay? You being a cardinal sign. We'll talk about that too, okay? So you're going to be a brand new person. Yeah. And you're going to feel indomitable for 3 reasons. 1, I explained most of it just now. 2, again, deep transformation. Even when I say that, yeah, death and rebirth. That's what Scorpio represents, right? So you're going to gain a lot of traction, especially mid-month. Oh, just wait until I turn this whiteboard over, okay? I'm calling it a gateway. As soon as we hit like October 12th, 13th, oh, just wait. And then the Prism Portal, that rare grand trine that you experienced over the summer, yeah? That's put you on the path that you're on now. It's creating a brand new era for you. So you were adjusting to that. You were adapting to that. And that is Saturn conjunct Neptune, right? Sextile Uranus in Gemini and sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And remember, Uranus is trining Pluto. So remember, this Prism Portal is years long. It was over the summer that gave you the biggest window of opportunity, but you still have it, right? And there's your pyramid, that configuration. Nobody on this planet has experienced. Remember, so rare. It hasn't happened in modern human history. All right. I'll leave that video at the end of this video as well. Okay. The one that's what you can expect for the next 2 years for you, Libra. All right. Now, that Prism Portal over the summer, what did it do? It made you the spiritual warrior that you are now. Okay. So yeah, there's going to be some squares. There's going to be some oppositions, but you're already a red belt. You're a black belt. You're teaching karate. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a piece of cake as long as you're at that high frequency of love, compassion, self-love, and really great energy this month that you can attach to. It is such a great month, especially coming after eclipse season. Now, let's kick it off. Wednesday, October 1st. Oh, yeah, you got Mercury in your sign. Don't forget that. Squaring Jupiter in Cancer. So this, honestly, is not a big deal. However, with Mercury in your sign, let's talk about this, okay? Mercury doesn't do well in your sign. And Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. So Jupiter's in the stronger position here. That's great. That's why it's not that big of a deal. Jupiter always squeezes something good out of an aspect, whether it's challenging, you know what I mean? Like, so this is actually, it works in your favor. You could hear good news. You could tip conversations in your favor. The only thing I'm going to ask of you as you move into October, try not to be wishy-washy. Yeah? And that's for every sign with Mercury squared Jupiter, okay? Especially when it comes to not only relationships and marriage and contracts and home and family, but career. Remember, Jupiter in Cancer rules your 10th house of career and fame. And if you're not here for a career, just whatever you want to be known for, how you want to be perceived. The 10th house is very public facing, okay? It's your reputation. So the reason I'm bringing this aspect up, even though it's small fry compared to a lot of other things here, the reason I'm bringing it up is because Juno, Jupiter's wife, an asteroid who rules equality, justice, and fairness in commitments and marriage and agreements and partnerships. And your asteroid, by the way, that's why she represents everything for you, Libra. She's moving back into Sagittarius after having a stint in Scorpio. Why is this such a big deal for you? Well, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So she's in her husband's home. She's home, right? Like, it feels really good. You're going to feel a shift right off the bat of this month, okay? And here's the thing. Juno in Sagittarius, that's a lot more freedom. That's a lot more room for growth and expansion. It's a lot more adventurous, okay? Sagittarius rules your 3rd house. So when we talk about contracts, the 3rd house also has to do with contracts and agreements, verbal agreements. 3rd house is communication. It's amazing. Excuse me. Yes, thank you so much for all your comments. I am still getting better. So thank you so much with my health issues. Now, the 3rd house is also, it's like PR, marketing, advertising, branding yourself. And this is key because of what's happening for you this month if you are here for a career. Or just, again, what you want to be recognized for. The 3rd house is also social media. It's writing. It's the internet. You may be doing things online, and there's going to be contracts and agreements and things like that, okay? 3rd house is also siblings, neighbors, travel as well. So The reason I'm harping on this is because you have Juno back in your sign. That's or in Sagittarius. That's amazing. Your third house, okay? And what's happening this day, Juno will immediately trine Neptune in Aries at 0 degrees. What the fax machine, this is going to be a big thing for you. So right off the bat, something new is brewing for you. It's 0 degrees, right? The point of reset, new. Let's say new beginnings, okay? There's something romantic, something dreamy. Aries rules your 7th house of marriage and love and contracts and one-on-one relationships. So it can be work related. Yeah. It can be your agent. It can be your wedding planner. It can be your babysitter. Just think one-on-one for you. All right. Juno is bringing that fairness. And there is something here that's happening that we will talk about later, because something that happens around this time we'll talk about later. All right. So keep this one in mind, because if you are a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your husband, Mick, or your dog sitter, or whoever who needs to hear this, right? Cardinal signs, that would be Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and you, Libra. You're going to feel this the most. If you have any planets in your natal chart, in your birth chart, any of those signs between 20 to 24 degrees, you'll feel it the most. All right. Now, Saturday, October 4th. Yeah. And I'm talking about Mercury. I'm talking about Mercury squared Jupiter, right? That's what I'm talking about. But Juno's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that later. Saturday, October 4th. This is going to be, I'm going to skip this one, Venus conjuncting the South Node, because it is your 12th house. Just know that we just came after, and this is happening in Virgo, right? We just had an eclipse in Virgo, right? On the South Node. You just had the Sun, you had Mars, you had Mercury, all conjunct the South Node in the past few months. So you've been releasing things. You've been letting this go. All right. This is very karmic. There's something fated here. So for you, Virgo rules your 12th house. So for you, it's something more spiritual. It's something that's a little bit, it's, you using your intuition. The 12th house is very nebulous. So nothing in the physical world. It's all within you. All right. That is the 12th house. So it could even be like your dream, right? A dream about something that you wanted, but now you're like, actually, no, I want to do this instead. So there could be something here. 12th house is also healing. So this could be a very healing moment for you that has to do with relationships or your creative project or even a habit or money matters or being too hard on yourself, all that Virgo stuff, right? Either way, there's a lesson learned in any of the above. All right. Mutable signs are going to feel this the most. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. Now, Monday, October 6th. We will definitely talk about this more in your weekly forecast next week. Mercury moves into Scorpio. So remember, Jupiter exalted in Cancer in your 10th house of career. You have the North Node and Saturn and soon Neptune and Pisces in your 6th house of everyday activities and work. And Scorpio rules your 2nd house of finances, money, salary, income. Just wait till we get to the back. Now, Mercury in Scorpio, that's great. It's a lot of passion. It's a lot of, there's intensity here, but it's very like, I got your back energy. There's depth with the Scorpio, as you know, right? Scorpio representing death and rebirth and transformation and passion. Yeah. This is you speaking passionately. But Mercury is also the mind. Scorpio is very psychological. So Mercury and Scorpio, again, pretty much all month long. Mercury will be in 3 signs, by the way. By the end of the month, Mercury will move into Sagittarius. But for now, let's focus on Mercury and Scorpio when it comes to not only finances, money, income, salary, but also material possessions. Okay? It's your physical reality. Also, self-worth, things that you value. Okay? And also you, self-value. So there's something here that's going to start, you're just going to start changing. Okay? Mercury in your sign, great. Mercury in Scorpio, passion, intensity. But again, around money matters, material possessions, even food, by the way. Okay? There may be something here. The one thing I want you to watch out for is that, and especially when Pluto goes direct, because Pluto is Scorpio's modern ruler. Here's the thing. This, sure, passion, but it can be really, when I say intense and it has an intensity, Scorpio is deep, right? And so you got to think about that like depth. So there can be a little bit of probing here. There can be a little bit of detective energy is what I'm going to say. All right. That's Mercury and Scorpio. It's like you got to know who took the cookie from the cookie jar. You got to know who's under the scream mask in this movie. Let me go check. No. So you can get really, really deep. And remember, Venus at this point is still in Virgo. And so that is super analytical, over analytical. I got to know the details. So be mindful of this package deal, because a lot of people are going to be, it's very internet sleuth energy. It's like truth seeking. I can't let this go energy, right? Remember, even Mars is still in Scorpio. There's an element of like holding on to grudges. You don't want to do that. So this is all fine, this detective work, if you're working on a cold case. But just remember, Mars and Scorpio all month is adding that rocket fuel. And so be very mindful about the way that you speak, think, etc., especially with relationships, investments, wealth building. But also, this is great for your transformation. So just be mindful. This can bring an intensity, is what I'm saying. All right. And we are still in your birthday season. So there is this hyper focus on relationships and partnerships and contracts. Okay. So keep that in mind. Now, right around midnight, Eastern Standard Time, my time, we have that full moon in Aries, 14 degrees. I can't remember the last time we had a nighttime full moon, but here we are. All right. So we'll talk about this more next week, but this is big. Obviously, you're going to feel this the most with all the other cardinal signs, right? And Aries being your opposite sign, partnerships, relationships, contracts, marriage, love, all of that. Something surfacing here. It's a full moon. It's a full moon, something culminating. There's a turning point. I want you to think about what happened the end of March of this year when we had that once a lifetime planetary alignment. Remember, with the new moon, solar eclipse in Aries, this is the corresponding full moon. I like this full moon. It's Aries energy. It's go-getter energy. It's the entrepreneur, the initiator. So again, there is a sense of like this reset, this death and rebirth. There's something you're evolving from here. All right. Moon is emotions. So again, cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn will feel it the most. If you have any planets in any of those signs, yeah, remember, it doesn't matter. You look at the angular aspects, 12 to 16 degrees, you will feel it the most. Now, Tuesday on the 7th, Mercury squares Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be something that, just remember, Pluto rules Scorpio. Yeah, modern ruler. Mars is the traditional ruler. Scorpio, yeah, this is going to add some intensity. It's Scorpio energy. Remember, Scorpio is a scorpion. It has a stinger. Just be mindful, okay, this day about the way you speak, the things that you're thinking too, okay? Remember, everything's energy, and that includes the thoughts in your head and the words that come out of your mouth, because this can be a little bit emotional. It can be really deep. That's Pluto, right? Scorpio's ruler looking at Mercury saying, hey, you are in my house. So there is a little bit of like, come at me, bro, energy, a little bit of a squeeze. Pluto is a ruler of the underworld, right? Pluto being Scorpio's ruler, depth, truth seeking. Something here is about to come to the surface. All right, Libra? But remember, you want to avoid that. Like, let's really investigate what's, in this cave where it says no enter. Anyway, you are, and again, when I say truth's coming to the surface, yes, this is going to have to do with relationships, love, family, children, money, finances, things like that. All right. So just bear that in mind. Mars is still active. Mars is here and he's wearing a leather jacket. All right. So remember, the lower expressions here can be like jealousy, possessiveness, things like that. All right. So keep that in mind. You don't want to hold grudges. That's all I'm saying. can be strong with that Scorpio energy. Like, I don't think they're going to redo this season finale of Game of Thrones. We got to let that go. We got to get comfortable with that. All right. So anyway, moving forward, Wednesday the 8th, you got Venus sextile Jupiter. So this is rare. This is amazing. One of the luckiest aspects, because you've got the two benefic planets with this window of opportunity that they're offering you. It's a sextile. So you've got Venus, love, money, creativity. And you got Jupiter, luck, abundance, expansion, wisdom, right? Meeting up in the middle of the week. And it's a strong aspect. So you're going to feel it all week, but the perfection is on Wednesday. So again, we'll talk more about this in your weekly forecast, but yeah, there's something here with career and fame and your reputation and honors and achievements. It's Jupiter in Cancer, right? So, and again, he's in a stronger position than Venus Virgo. Amazing. Amazing. So I do want you to think about August 12th. What happened around that time with the Venus-Jupiter conjunction? Remember, that's a year-long process. It's been playing out. And so there's been something growing for you. It's a cycle. So this, you could get a little bit of glimpse of what's happening or something happening. So just really savor this week. Now, Saturday, and of course you're gonna feel this. Of course, you're a cardinal sign, just like Cancer. Now, Saturday the 11th, this is what I really want you to pay attention to. Venus opposite Saturn can have an edge to it. Remember, Venus is in Virgo. It's not just being overly analytical or that perfectionist energy or being hard on yourself. It's warrior energy, okay? Not like Braveheart. I'm talking about like worry. And then Saturn is very, talk to the hand right now. He's going full hard knocks. He's throwing you reality checks. He's life lessons, delays, restrictions in love and relationships and money, but also work. You may not be seeing eye to eye with colleagues or employees or bosses. Just keep that in mind. This is going to be one of those days. So you might, again, you can always use these aspects in your favor. All right. And so we'll talk about this more in your weekly forecast, but it is mutable energy. Okay. Venus and Virgo, and then, Saturn and Pisces, two mutable signs, which means be flexible. You can be adaptable here. All right. Be social. Always be social, especially because the moon will be in Gemini this day. So it feels like for you, there's going to be some imparting wisdom around this time. Yeah. And Saturn, by the way, this is an opposition, but he's still bringing you that stability, that structure, even to your commitments. It's just this day and the day surrounding it. He's saying, how much do you want this? How badly do you want this? And so you got to prove it. You got to pass this test. All right. Now, mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces will feel this the most. If you have planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs in your natal chart, you're going to feel it. Now, Monday the 13th, this is a loaded day. This is when the gateway opens. Okay. We're about to have 3 grand trines. And those, by the way, they're supportive, extra supportive than just a normal trine. Triple supportive. They're harmonious. They're the nature of Jupiter. They work in your favor. And so you're going to see things happen, all right? Because you are going to be part of these trines. And you're going to start seeing your life change dramatically. It's enormous. That's part of your transformation. But remember, you have to take inspired action. You have to put in the work, right? So do not weekend and birdies this month. Like, do things. All right. First, you see Venus is moving into your sign. Venus, love, money, beauty, creativity, harmony, everything your heart desires, right? She's emphasizing the finer things in life. Venus is at home. Venus is made at home in your sign. You have Venus, okay? So this is it's social. It's fun. She's working in your favor. It's so much fun for you. It's like having brunch with Cyndi Lauper, okay? And while she's blessing you in all those areas, you got Mars in Scorpio. So you've got Venus in her domicile. You got Mars in his domicile. they're at home where they do their best. So you got the power couple moving mountains for you, okay? Especially when it comes to relationships and intimacy and investments and commitments. But for you, money, because Venus is in your sign and Venus represents money. Mars in Scorpio is in your second house of money. So just pay attention to what happens around this time. Love and relationships also really amplified because Pluto is going direct officially after being asleep since May. So you're going to feel like a bear coming out of hibernation. This is liberating. It's power. Pluto's power and empowerment. Okay. Those salmon in the river, they better swim fast. You gonna, right? So Pluto at Aquarius, that's your fifth. So what is happening here? You got Pluto out of bounds, meaning he's just a little bit more extreme, meaning you're going to be a little bit more, feeling a lot more empowered. That confidence, but also him being out of bounds, he's a little wild. And so you're going to feel a lot of that Pluto energy, okay? And Pluto represents transformation. And it rules your fifth house of joy and pleasure and love and true love and romance and family and children and creative projects and sex. It's fifth house is procreation. A lot of y'all having babies. Congratulations. And then remember, you already have a lot of family stuff happening. So it could be, maybe a grandkid enters the picture. So this is really, really, really amazing. It's also hobbies. I wouldn't be surprised if you turn a hobby into something that you monetize, maybe like a side gig, side hustle, things like that. All right. So that's going to be amazing. You will have... Well, I'm just going to tell you, I don't think it's on the whiteboard. Is it? Let me just see. Oh, sorry. I got to turn this over. Well, just one thing. On this day, Venus will be opposite Neptune in Aries. So remember, Venus is in your sign at this time. Neptune is still in Aries in your seventh house of relationships, contracts, etc. So it's just this day, just any relationship, any contract, partnership, friendship, whatever, that one-on-one. How real is it? Is it going to be a thing? What's fantasy? What's real? Okay. Remember, we'll talk about your weekly forecast. Now, are you ready for the main attraction? Tuesday, the 14th. You have got Venus in your sign trining Uranus and Gemini. That's rare. Happens once a year. Okay. And remember, Uranus and Gemini rules your ninth house, and that is spirituality. That's your belief system. That's your philosophies, your perspective on things, inner wisdom, but also travel, long distance travel, foreign cultures, foreign lands. Maybe you're working with people or dating someone overseas, or there's something here overseas, as well as publishing, book publishing and broadcasting. Maybe you're going to be a news anchor. Maybe you're going to start a podcast. So that's amplified. And then you have Venus trine Pluto in Aquarius, which happens twice a year. And Venus and Pluto, when they get together, that's deep. That's in the trenches. That is passion on a whole other level. Remember, Pluto's power, all right? And when I say deep, it's like, where's the exit? You like deep, okay? Don't forget, you have Uranus trine Pluto as well. So you see, you've got a grand air trine here with Venus and Uranus and Pluto. This is enormously special with Venus in your sign. Why? Nobody on this planet has experienced this. Remember, it's been 84 years since Uranus has been in Gemini, 250 years since Pluto has been in Aquarius. Nobody, okay? And Uranus trine Pluto, that is that brand new energy, part of the prism portal that's requiring you. Remember, it's non-negotiable, requiring you to change, right? To be this new you after everything you've learned the past few months. And we'll talk about it more in the weekly forecast. There's more to this. There's a lot more to this. But just think, this is your big break. This is your big breakthrough. That's Uranus, okay? Pluto and Aquarius in your fifth house of love and romance and fun, pleasure, having babies, all of that. This is also sliding door moments. Remember, it's Uranus, the unexpected surprises, okay? Chance encounters. in love, in marriage, in contracts, agreements, your future hopes, everything. This is amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And education. Some of y'all are going to possibly take some courses, maybe even become professors, teachers, instructors. That is that ninth house energy. So I really love this for you. I think that the fact that Saturn is still conjunct Neptune, even though they're different signs, doesn't matter, right? Helping bring your dreams to reality, building that bridge for you. And it is your seventh house. So anyway, this is really big. And Venus and Pluto, yes, they bring that intensity, but it's that feel-good intensity. And Pluto has that rebellious side. Like, you're going to do you. You're going to do you. And Uranus, remember, in Gemini, it's all about being your authentic self and breakthroughs. Uranus and Pluto together, that's your big breakthrough. So have your transformation. This is big. If you're single, wow, pay attention, okay, to what happens and put yourself out there, all right? Now, why does it say even more special? Look at what's happening. Jupiter trine Saturn. What is going on? This hasn't happened in over a decade. Yeah. So Jupiter trine Saturn is perfecting on November 1st. So from this point, they're only 2 degrees apart. It's building up to November 1st. And the fact that Jupiter will go retrograde in November makes it a lot more lasting. Okay. It's going to be at that degree point with Saturn. So you will feel it all of November pretty much as well. This is a trine. When was the last time you saw Saturn in a trine, right? So remember, this is in your favor. This is amazing. And Saturn in Pisces in your 6th house with a North Node, by the way, of your everyday, okay? Your day-to-day routines, work, as well as health matters. Some of y'all are getting pets, by the way. 6th house is also just, it's literally like your day-to-day. There is something, and it's also like colleagues, employees. There's a lot of your responsibilities when it comes to work, a lot of that. So Saturn is, and Jupiter is setting something up for you for almost like this new you in a new career, new profession, maybe getting, what's it called? Upgrade, promotion, things like that. Maybe you're starting your own business, because don't forget, Jupiter in Cancer in your 10th house of career and fame and recognition. And you have Saturn in Pisces in your 6th house of work. And the air trine, the grand air trine at the same time. So this is absolutely amazing. This is stability, it's structure, it's success and recognition for your, long-term goals and commitments. And again, we will talk more about this in your weekly forecast, but wow. In the air trine, the grand air trine, it's going to be you in Gemini Aquarius that feel that the most. If you have any planets 0 to 3 degrees in any of those signs, you're going to feel it the most. Jupiter, trine Saturn, all the water signs, right? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. If you have any planets in your chart, 24 to 26 degrees in any of those signs, there you go. Your life is basically changing. All right. Now, but again, you're seeing that all the modalities are activated. So everyone's going to feel these. Now, what else is happening? Okay. Yeah, Thursday, October 16th. You do have the Sun square Jupiter. I don't mind that one. We'll talk about your weekly forecast. There's just something here that's going to expand your worldview, and something with career as well. And then on the 18th, Saturday, October 18th, there may be something here really, really, really special for you, because we have the bending of the nodes. This North Node, South Node, okay? And remember, Jupiter is trine Saturn. Both have an element of karma. Saturn actually rules karma. And you have the bending of the nodes, the karmic nodes of fate. So something fated is about to happen for you here. October 18th, right at the same time with Jupiter trine Saturn and that grand air trine that you're a part of. Buckle up. Sunday, October 19th, Mercury conjunct Mars in Scorpio. Listen, speaking of buckling up, this is intense. It is high frequency, but with passion. It can be emotional. Okay. Remember, Mercury, the mind, in Scorpio, there's depth. Mars is physicality and drive. So you are going to feel really amped up. You are going to feel like Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay. In Halloween, you're like, nope, not today, Michael. I got 6, 7 more sequels in me. That's how you're going to feel. Okay. And with Mercury involved here, you may actually speak your mind. So again, be very mindful with this Scorpio energy. The great news is that this is literally the phrase, you can do anything that you put your mind to. And again, your second house is going to be really amplified now. Salary, income, money, finances, a lot of negotiating there too. Okay. And also self-worth, self-value, material possessions. That fridge that you wanted, the one that talks to you, you might be getting it now. Okay. Or the puppet, whatever you want. But here's the thing. This gets the job done, Mars and Mercury. And you're going to see when they merge their energies, which they're doing right now, they're going to be traveling together for the rest of the month. So this is pretty much all month in a very passionate sign, all about transformation. So yeah, go for it. Go beast mode. Sure. But just be mindful. Okay. The good news is that Venus and the sun's still in your sign, right? So that brings that diplomacy and peace. And so you're going to be fine. Anyway, we do also have another grand air trine, by the way, the same day, with now the moon in your sign, trining Uranus and Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius. So, wow, that's a gateway to the new moon in your sign. You have no idea. Like this is like it's like you're getting platters, silver platters. Like, hey, Libra, what do you want? Oh, okay, we're actually just going to create it for you. But take one step into this path. Do a little bit of work. This is really amazing. Tuesday, the 21st, the new moon in your sign, 28 degrees. It's a Venus ruled new moon. Venus is in her chariot. Remember that. So please plant seeds, set intentions. This is romantic, huge new beginnings for you in love and marriage and contracts and pleasure and money, creative projects, and finding peace and justice and harmony in it all. But this is a new moon for the history books, okay? Because at this point, you have Mercury conjunct Mars. You have that gateway of the grand air trine. You have Jupiter trine Saturn. And Jupiter trine Saturn is now forming a grand water trine with Mercury in Scorpio. So, wow. Now, you see what's happening here. Agreements, opportunities, doors opening for you where Saturn's bringing that stability. And again, this is your 10th house of career, okay? And your 6th house of work and everyday activities, and your 2nd house of money and income. So you see that you're set up for your birthday season. This is gonna be, it is the most powerful October of the decade. This is insane, especially for you. And remember, okay, here's the thing. And this is all, remember, emotionally moving. This is deeply transformative for you. But remember what I said about the first day of October? Y'all remember that? At this point, you could seal the deal for a relationship or contract. If you entered a new relationship, for instance, you're dating for a bit and you're like, oh, I don't know. This is that time where you know. And the reason why there may be something extra special for you here is because I told you about Juno, your asteroid, all about fairness and equality in marriage, partnerships, contracts. She's going to sextile Venus in your sign. And she's in your 3rd house of agreements and contracts and signing things and launching businesses and communication. So Juno and her husband, Jupiter, are creating this enormously optimistic future for you. But you, again, have to take that action. And obviously, it will be you that feels this new moon the most, but throw in Gemini and Aquarius, all the air signs. If you have any planets, 27 to 29 degrees, any of the air signs, oh, yeah. You're going to feel it. But every modality is activated. So
Anyway, how much time do we have? Okay, so let's just Wednesday the 22nd or Tuesday the 21st, depending on where you live. Neptune goes back into Pisces, so that does bring creativity, imagination, your dreams on blast, right? It's very visceral. It's in your sixth house of everyday activities and work and health as well. It can be very nostalgic. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecast. And then you have, and then we move into Scorpio season on Thursday the 23rd. Yeah. And don't forget, you already have Mars and Mercury in Scorpio. So you have a stellium here in Scorpio. So that's adding to that intensity of that Scorpio energy, which is all about your transformation, especially again with self-worth, self-value, your physical, like material possessions and assets and things and money and finances and food. Okay. Treat yourself. I mean, you got Venus on your side. So, yeah. Welcome to your transformation. It's going to be deep. All right. Cue Metallica or Mariah Carey, whoever you want. But this is all about even like, again, a lot of truths, being real with yourself, things coming to the surface. It can be emotional. It is that Scorpio energy, but you have to direct that emotion. Libra, all right? Because remember, as I always say, emotions are neutral, all right? A thought, any thought that you have, especially with Mercury and Scorpio, if you don't have that intense emotion and feeling, it doesn't have any value. It doesn't give any power to engage with your neural pathways. Yeah, I am bringing in science. I always say match the frequency of the reality you want. You can't help but get that reality. Okay, so yes, emotions, they are neutral. It's the energy you apply toward that emotion that puts them in motion. Emotion, okay? Emotere. We're going way back to Latin. Emotere. Energy in motion, okay? The etymological root of emotion. So that's what gives you power. That's what gives you experience and hopes and dreams. That allows you to create that high frequency and the reality that you deserve. Energy. Everything is energy. So keep that in mind, Libra, because Jupiter will square Chiron this day. We'll talk about it in your weekly forecasts. Healing, all right? That you may be doing, especially with partnerships, relationships, circumstantial, or even the way that you feel about them, okay? Because Chiron is like, there's an element of like, I'm not good enough. Like, we're healing that, all right? Now, the 24th, and again, remember, there's so much that's not on the whiteboard. We will talk about in your weekly forecast. There's 3 other aspects that are among the best of the month. I'll surprise you with when we get to it. Now, the 24th, you do have the Sun square Pluto. So this is definitely power struggles, okay? This is extremity. This is come at me, bro, energy. But it really is more about burnout. This is, remember what I said, there can be some grudgy energy with this Scorpio energy. So this is hitting your second house of self-worth, self-value, and finances and money, and your fifth house of joy and pleasure and true love and romance and family and children and sex. Okay? So it's basically, remember what I just talked about, energy. If you're expending your energy into something and you're relentless, yeah, that's fatigue. That's burnout. You want to avoid that. And because this is one of the most challenging aspects of the month. Yeah. Remember, you're in a karmic journey, creating your new reality with all these amazing new things that have just happened for you. So don't let anyone pull you into their low energy frequency, because this is not seeing eye to eye with people. And as I always say, should that happen, pull them out of theirs, right? That's what karma is. That's the greater good. Give someone a compliment this day. All right? Stay at that high frequency. Give someone a small smile. You can use this, okay? But there may be some things coming to the surface. Truths coming to the surface. Now, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, gonna feel this most. Anyone with 0 to 2 degrees in their chart, stay frosty, be cool, and use this to your advantage. Now, the last week, if you thought this is it, okay? You see on Monday, you got Mars trine Jupiter, 24 degrees. You just can't make this up. This, first of all, this is rare. It only happens once a year. This trine, once a year, okay? But, and remember, you basically have Mercury with Mars still. So this, you're going to start feeling October 24th. So over the weekend, it's strong, all right? So you feel it days before, days after. This is one of the best days of the year, okay? Mars trine Jupiter. So you've got Mars, the planet of action, drive, passion, in its domicile in Scorpio. You got Jupiter, the planet of luck, expansion, good fortune, exalted in Cancer. So again, let's do the math. That's your 10th house of career and fame, meeting up with your second house of salary, income, and finances. You are good. You're good. This is like the holy grail. And if you're not here for career, it's just passion. What are you passionate about, right? If you're not here for money, self-worth, self-value, that fridge, the AI fridge that talks to you. And that's actually relevant, right? Because it's I told you, second house is also food. You're going to have conversations about food this month. Anyway, this is really great. It's also including like investments and relationships. And what makes this really special is that we now have another golden triangle. We have another grand trine. Mars in Scorpio, trine Jupiter in Cancer, trine Saturn in Pisces. Remember, and Jupiter trining Saturn. Libra, you're making me blush. You just can't get better. This is amazing. It's amazing. All right. Don't even remember Saturn and Pisces, your sixth house of everyday activities and work. And now you see Mars is trining Saturn, which is going to perfect on Wednesday, the 29th. All right. But that, again, you'll feel days before, days after. You also have Mercury trine Neptune. What? So you have this grand water trine, all about long-term structure, stability, even wisdom to your ambitions and your goals and commitments, with optimism and luck and expansion. We haven't had this in 12 years, okay? So please, please, please take advantage. By the way, I'll give you one last thing. Well, how much time we got? Oh, you know what? I'll give you one last thing. This same day, the moon will be in Capricorn. Remember, I told you, watch your moon. Always watch your moon sign. That's when we're talking about emotions, by the way. Oh, yeah, your moon. Okay? I've made that very clear. That's where when y'all say, oh, it's your moon. When you feel emotional, it's the moon. But here's the moon in Capricorn, right? You got the moon in Capricorn on this day, all about your goals and legacy, but also home. The home front, your domestic sector, will be forming another grand trine, a rare grand trine, sextiling Mars in Scorpio, Saturn in Pisces. You just can't make this up. This is going to be, and then Neptune back in Pisces, that's going to trine Mercury. That's like poetry in motion. It's just, you're good. You're set up. And so this is also Mercury's moving into Sag. We'll talk about that when we get to weekly forecast. I'm seeing if there's anything else that I want to. No, that's good. We're good. All right. So you see how amazing this month is going to be for you, Libra. All right. So let's get started. And thank you, everyone who has joined greatawakener.com. I really appreciate it. I quit my job for it. It's been so much fun doing those live streams, and everything's in the description box. If you want to join, remember the founding member sale is still happening until the end of the month, and it is October, because I do use astrological aspects for me too. It is October when I'm launching the super secret thing. Okay. I can't even I'll let you know next week. All right. So yeah. Yep. Anyway, Libra, happy birthday. Let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you, Libra, for October 2025. Libra Nation. All right, Libra. I feel that. All right, so I do a traditional culture cross spread. offers the best overview, especially for a monthly forecast. And if we need to pull clarifiers, you know we will. Secondly, Libra, y'all are amazing. Happy birthday. I hope you're having an amazing birthday season. Just remember, it is going to be unforgettable. There's a lot happening. Let's see what's going on. You know I love y'all. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is going to be unforgettable. And we're going to talk. Well, you got the Ace of Swords here. Huge. Amazing. So there you go. There's a breakthrough already. I told you about Juno moving into Sag. You're going to feel that. And this is really great. Ace of Swords, that's huge breakthrough. That's mental breakthrough, right? That's also the beginning of something new. Like it's a new frame of mind, new headspace, new ideas. This is making brilliant decisions. This is also like makeup energy. You do see the olive branch here. You see the crown. You see everything, but it's a hand of spirit offering you a lot of power. Yeah. Mercury and Scorpio. What did I say? Passion, but it's also power too. That's Scorpio energy. Remember, the ruler is Pluto. So the biggest sword in the deck, with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. But you can see right off the bat, there's just something new happening. It can be a conversation, contracts, things like that. Nine of Swords in the heart of your spread. What's going on? So when you look at what's happening here with that Six of Wands in your challenge area, a card of victory, a card of success and recognition, it does look at what's happening. Okay. There can be something that you're waiting for, that you were hoping for, that hasn't happened yet, okay? Keyword is yet. Keep that in mind, okay? Remember, Mercury in Scorpio is intense, all right? So you want to be mindful about the way that you are speaking and having conversations and even like signing things and whatnot. But that Nine of Swords, there is someone else involved. And remember, this is a month of your transformation, but also partnerships and relationships all month long. And there's something here showing that there's a little bit of someone else involved. And it can be something that you said, something that you did. Remember, we don't want to do that grudgy energy. I don't think you will with Venus when Venus moves in your sign, or ever your Libras, but there can be something here where there wasn't seeing eye to eye, and now we've got to figure out, let's make up for this, okay? With that Six of Wands here, it can be career related, can be something that, Six of Wands is all about eminence, right? And so it's almost like you're in a situation this month, overthinking, over analyzing. Remember, truths coming to the surface. So you could have heard something. You could have said something, but also, are you speaking your truth about something? Because remember, there can be some delays here based on what your actions are and the things that you say. What did I just say? Energy. Everything's energy, but also everything's karmic. Everything has ripple effects. Be very wise with that sword. Okay? And then, but this is amazing. The Page of Cups and the Empress. What? So, yeah. There's some amazing things happening for you this month. Okay? Page of Cups. That's that dreamer energy. This is, Page of Cups it is water, right? Page of Cups is water. Cups are water. Emotions, feelings, intuition, relationships, love, wonderment. Yeah? This is all about following your bliss. This is all about something surprising as well. But this is really like, he has a great imagination and he follows it. He turns it into something, okay? And something new. And it can be a person, new relationship. The Empress. There's her passion. There's her comfort. There's her love. There's Venus in your sign. You even see the symbol of Venus in her stone-shaped heart. This is Venus. This is Aphrodite, goddess here. We're talking about a goddess, super conscious love, abundance, right? Lap of luxury, everything that I said that you're going to experience this month. You're going to experience it, okay? But I want you to feel it throughout, okay, the entire month. And I want you to, when I say feel it, I want you to not only be emotive, but I also want you to have that connection, mind-heart. Okay? This is the mind. A lot of heart here. And so there's this disconnect. This is heart too, Page of Cups. Yeah? So keep that in mind. You have that Eight of Cups in your future. So you're leaving something for something better. And it can be a little bit like bittersweet. You see literally an eclipse happening in this card, right? And it may be something work related because this card is attributed to Saturn and Pisces. Again, that is your 6th house where the North Node is, where you're going to be having changes anyway. You're leaving something. You're leaving. Nothing's wrong with the cups. You just know something's better for you. He's moving into higher ground. However, look at all that water. So it may be emotional, okay? You wading through the waters, but you have to be very awake. You have to be very aware. He's doing it at night. He's only got the moonlight, right? So a lot of emotions here. Secondly, you see the rocks in the waters. It's not like you can just... You gotta be, like I said, you gotta be awake. You gotta be, oh, okay, I can't run into that rock. So this is also part of your awakening, but you've already made that decision. He's wearing a red cape for passion and power. So you're moving into something better. All right. There's just, let's fix that. Okay. Let's fix that. Let's get to your stuff. I'll even clarify those for you, Libra. I want to just see what's going on here. Libra, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what is going on. Y'all got a big old month. You got happy birthday month. Happy birthday, Libra Nation. I really actually do want to know what's going on. Y'all, seriously, and you know that. You know that. Okay, so let's get started. Oh my gosh, you're going to be fine. Libra, when's the last time you saw me do this? Only for you, Libra. You got the 6 of Cups. This is amazing. Okay. Absolutely amazing. I love this. What's very interesting here is that you do have, and it's very cups heavy, as you can see, but also just pay attention to those sorts. 6 of Cups. Everything's harmonizing. That's what I want you to do. I want you to tap into your inner child. That's what you're meant to do. Okay. But what could be the part that makes it a little is the intensity of Scorpio energy all month long, but Pluto going direct in your 5th house of fun and pleasure. But this is like making up, right? That's makeup energy. It's kindness. It's saying, let's let bygones be bygones, but hold on to those great nostalgic energies too. Things that make you feel good. This is highly associated with the past. But again, you've got some, and a lot of comfort here. Okay. But just think like you want everything to harmonize. Okay. This month. And it's all about partnerships, relationships. So seeing eye to eye, being diplomatic, right? All of that. And then you're fine. You got the 3 of Cups. There's something new that you're moving into here. You can see that's worth it. That's worth it. In your external factors area, the 3 of Cups, a card of celebration. And you even see the 3 sisters here. I said, y'all have family stuff. Even if it's not, it's like wherever you're putting that energy, remember, this is attributed to Saturn and Pisces. This is Mercury and Cancer. So this is a Cancer card. It's a 2nd decan. Remember, Jupiter's there in Cancer. Cancer rules your 10th house of career. So work, career, right? This is attributed to Mars and Gemini. It's a Gemini card. What is Gemini for you? Remember, that's your 9th house. So it's your worldview. It's your perspective on things. So it being swords, something here has to change. Yeah? Remember, with Uranus, you can't resist the change. You have to go with the flow with the go. Adapt. Okay? Now, you see that you're moving into something amazing, something new, right? 3 is a vibration of the Empress, card 3. Okay? And so that's the birth of new things. Some of y'all are actually, some of y'all are having babies or want it. She's pregnant. Okay? So anyway, your 5th house is activated and you have Pluto there. So that's really great. So prepare to celebrate. Okay? There's something here for you that's really nice. Queen of Cups. Yeah. Have it. That emotional stability, being that rock for other people. Very feminine energy here. Queen of Cups is actually Cancer, but there's emotions here. She's a leader. Cancer being a cardinal sign, leader, right? But she's a queen, leader. This is a little bit more intimate with the Queen of Cups, but it's still you. using your intuition, like having self-love and letting people know that you're there for them, but you've got to be there for you too. Okay. And then you have the Queen of Wands in your final outcome. She's the entrepreneur. She's the businesswoman, but she's so full of passion. That's Wands. It's the energy of fire, right? And so again, career is a big thing. Career, profession, work. That's what Wands are anyway. But Wands are also just your passions, your ambitions. A lot of creative energy here as well. What I love here, when you do the math, when you do everything here, well, yes, there may be some new relationships forming. And out of all the queens, she's the one that's the most like bunny stuff. Okay. So that's there for you too. But she is also the entrepreneur. You see the sun flower in her hand, in her thrones that appear in the actual sun card, which is vitality. It's, optimism. It's opportunities. She has the powers of the sun. So she attracts whatever she wants. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. And let's clarify that. 9 of Swords. Oh, I did the wrong deck. Well, you get the Fool. So maybe that was meant to be. You clear all that, right? Make up with whoever you have to make up with, and clear the decks. Oh, you're good. You got the Fool. Oh my gosh. This is for the second spread, but there you go. You're good. You're really good. You have the Fool that's a brand new beginning. That's card 0, right? So take that leap of faith. Okay. This is like a lot, holding on to a lot, sitting up in bed, like thinking, overthinking. No, because there is a lack of self-trust here as well with that 9 of Swords. You've got to always remember the universe is on your side. Okay. So even if you do have a conversation that you need to have with someone that you had maybe a falling out with or don't see eye to eye with, as long as you initiate, and no matter how that conversation turns out, even if it doesn't go the way you want, at least you did the best that you could, and then you can sleep at night, and that clears the decks for this new opportunity. Let's break it down week by week. Libra, you got me working today. Okay, so where are we? The first week. Yeah, Libra. The first week for you, I really think, Venus conjunct the South Node. Pay attention to Mercury will move into Scorpio. And remember, we're going to go deeper into these aspects next week. Venus opposite Saturn, I want you to be mindful of, and we do have Venus sextile Jupiter at the same time. Let's see what's going on for you for the first week. Of October. There you go. 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So there you go. There's a lot of, remember what I said, you've got Mercury, Mars, and then eventually the Sun in Scorpio in your second house, material possessions, your physical world. Let's let people in, first of all. But secondly, this is fine. It's great. It's just you spending time thinking about your future, but also bringing that stability, building that stability, right? For your future. Financially, yes, absolutely. Okay. Remember I said money's going to be a big thing. You have 3 planets in your second. All right. You also have, that doesn't come. More things are going to happen for you in November, by the way, with money, but this is all leading up to that, to November. Okay. So really, really grounding yourself and making sure that you have a plan moving forward, but bring people in. Okay. Second week, and be open to that. Second week, Venus moves into your sign. Pluto goes direct. You have so much happening. You have that grand air trine with you, Jupiter trine Saturn. There's just too much. You got Mercury conjunct Mars. There's a lot. All right, let's see what's going on for you the second week of October. 6 of Pentacles. Now all the Pentacles are showing up, right? I love that. 6 of Pentacles. This is coming after that 4 of Pentacles. That's amazing. Okay. That's we call them the young Hierophant holding the scale. You're known for the scale, all about that balance, right? even equality, justice, all of that. But still, this is someone who's very supportive and philanthropic and all of that. You're seeking support, it's coming. You got to vibrate at that high frequency. You see all the pentacles over his head. Like, yeah, there is a sense of even just knowing that balance of giving and receiving. Are you sitting there waiting to receive, but you're not giving anything at all? Or are you giving? You got nothing for yourself. You got to know that balance. Okay. That's the most important thing. But this is really great because that support is there. It's coming. Now, the third week, we have the new moon in your sign. The Neptune going back into Pisces. We move into Scorpio season. Oh my gosh. So we have the sun square Pluto. Let's see what's going on for you for the third week of October. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, all right. So yeah, you got the star. Everything, like I said, from the point of even, I mean, it starts here, right? That gateway. But when you get to your new moon, getting the star of your hopes and wishes and the stars aligning for you and feeling free, you can express yourself. There's almost like this new beginning. There's this sense of like rebirth because what comes, before the star? The tower. Do you remember your last week's reading, by the way? Yeah. What happened? Because look, now everything, and there's a sense of fertility and growth and things growing in your world and healing. Amazing. All right. So last week, oh yeah, we're going to go really deep next with the weekly forecast when you have the, Mars trine Jupiter, Mars trine Saturn, Mercury trine Neptune. So much happening. Let's see what's going on for you for the last week of October. Oh, you got the Two of Swords, your card. All right. Attributed to Moon in Libra. That's very, very interesting. All right. So it could be that there's something at that point, you've got to face reality about something, this brand new path that you're on. All right. Because even with that Nine of Swords and the heart of your spread and the Eight of Cups in your future and the Fool clarifying the Nine of Swords, there is something brand new happening for you. And you know that, okay? You know that. And then here with that, and here, wow. Remember, birth of new things, new. You're moving into something new. Like so much new. The Two of Swords. Again, there is that, let's not go back to going within. We got to be very open and honest and facing the things that we have to face. Anything that you're holding in at this point, remember that Scorpio energy is truths coming to the surface. And yeah, the truth will set you free. I'll even clarify that Two of Swords for you. But there also may be a decision. Yeah, there you go. You got the King of Swords. You take off that blindfold, you're going to be good. King of Swords has so much power. I mean, you got the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords. That's a lot of power. Power in words, power of the mind. He's ready. This is someone who's ready to make things happen. Okay. And he's got a lot of authority and he's a member of Mensa. I mean, he's smart, strategic, can be a little intimidating. So again, you use these swords wisely, but you take off that blindfold, you're in touch with your emotions, your intuition, all of that. You have the full package where you're steering the ship. The Libra Nation ship. All right, Libra. Thanks so much. Oh yeah, second spread. We're gonna do it. We're gonna pull up more cards. We'll look at career, love, everything. So, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join for the bonus spread. Really good and legendary members. That is so funny that I used that. All right. Anyway, let's see. Okay. Anyway, Libra. Happy birthday. Next week, we'll go deeper in the aspects. If you like this reading, be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. I'll see you next week. All right. Thank you, Libra. Bye-bye.